Welcome friends, it's Gail here. We're creating easy translucent icy ornaments. This is a beginner's project and we're going to break it down into two parts. Part one is how can I add an icy look to my handmade ornaments, and part two, how can I add flexible embellishments to my ornaments. Here's a list of materials for part one: a clear glass or plastic ornament, a white napkin with little texture, a pipe cleaner, gloss Mod Podge, a thin pointed brush, a 1-inch sponge brush, a small cup that can prop up the ornament, Liquitex glass bead medium, a palette knife, and a small cup with water and paper towels. All of the materials and links are in the description below. If it says more, just click on more and scroll down. Step one is to tear up one layer of a smooth white napkin. We're starting with our white napkin. I'm just using the white backing, so it's okay that it has an image on it. You want a napkin that's very smooth. Napkins come between 1 to 4 ply, and I'm just pulling off one of the plies. This is a 3-ply napkin. I only need one layer for this project. Now I'm dipping a thin pointed brush in water, and I'm going around the border. The napkin on the outside is a more bumpy texture. I want to take the bumpy part off, so I just have the middle part that's smooth. I'm using my hands to rip along that wet line to remove the outer border. I can use the same technique or just tear the rest of the napkin up into smaller pieces about 1 inch to 1.5 inches big. Step two is to coat the ornament with Mod Podge. Now I'm taking Mod Podge and using a sponge brush to coat the ornament. While I'm using matte Mod Podge, you can use matte satin or gloss for this part. Creating this technique is fun and relaxing. Step three, cover the ornament with one layer of napkin and coat it with Mod Podge. When adding the napkins, I want to smooth it out as I go along, and I did apply two on top of one another. However, I prefer to have just one layer and have them overlap a little bit and go all the way around. It's okay if they wrinkle. That's going to be part of the beauty of this part. It's going to look more like ice. You want some of the areas to be lighter so light will shine through them, since we are making a translucent ornament. Step four is to cover the torn napkins with Mod Podge. The beauty about using Mod Podge is not only are we using it as a sealer, it's also going to make the napkins look more translucent. Once I'm finished coating the ornament with Mod Podge, I want to hang it up and allow it to dry for 2 to 3 hours. I could either thread a pipe cleaner through the top of the ornament and hang it up that way, or I could prop it up on a cup. The next step is to apply a thick coat of glass bead medium. The glass bead medium that I like to use is Liquitex. It's in the description below if you'd like to check it out. I found a really great deal on Amazon that's cheaper than what I can find in the stores. I'm using a palette knife to apply the glass medium. To build it up more like snow, I want it thicker in some areas and thinner in other areas, and I really want the beads to build up on one another. This is what's really going to create the icy effect. Once I'm done coating it, you can see I have the pipe cleaner through the top already. I want to hang it up and allow it to dry for 24 to 48 hours. If I use a hair dryer to blow dry it for a while at the beginning, I can shorten the time span by a good 12 hours. This step is optional. Dab white acrylic paint on top with a brush or dabber. There is one more step that involves using white acrylic paint, and that's just brushing it over the beads lightly to make a more dry, snowy, icy effect. The white acrylic paint and brush are additional materials. You can use a toothbrush or a dabber instead of the brush I'm using. I'm using a stencil brush. Here's what the ornament looks like, and I also want to show you how translucent it is when we use a red light behind it. We developed this technique to be used with other techniques like you see in this wolf ornament that we created earlier this year. You can click in the upper right hand corner to see the wolf ornament video. Part 2 will come out next week, and we're super excited to show you a new technique that involves using modeling paste. Meanwhile, you're welcome to check out these videos.